Just about 6:49 this morning. This is your morning in 8 minutes. Today, city leaders will meet to discuss several issues, including the conflict in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas, as well as the future of animal control in Knoxville.
Knoxville City Council scheduled to vote on a resolution calling for a ceasefire. Councilmember Amelia Parker's resolution calls for an immediate ceasefire, humanitarian aid to Gaza, and a return of all hostages. The current ceasefire has been extended for 2 more days. City Council occasionally calls on state lawmakers to pass or reject legislation that directly affects Knoxville. Only rarely does it ask for congressional action. Demanding action on international issues, even more rare. More than 100 members and supporters of Knoxville's Palestinian community demanded a ceasefire resolution at a meeting earlier this month. Also on the agenda tonight, 3 resolutions and an ordinance revision to transfer responsibility for animal control from KPD to Young Williams Animal Center. The resolutions would approve a $3 million contract with Young Williams over 4 years, split evenly with Knox County. It also includes animal control equipment, vehicles, and a space at the city's facility on East 5th Avenue. The meeting starts at 6 o'clock in the main assembly room of the City County building.
And today, Knox County School Board officials want to hear from parents.
Yeah, the school board agreed to buy 41 acres of land as officials look to build a new school in the Farragut area. The district will have 3 community listening sessions before going back to the board in January with that final recommendation. Overcrowding's become a big issue for Farragut primary, middle, and high schools. Today, board members will be at Farragut High to hear your input. The listening session starts at 5:30. If you can't make it today, there's going to be another on Thursday at Farragut Primary School. Your last chance will be next Tuesday at Farragut Middle School. And we're also expecting to hear from Governor Lee today as he's expected to announce a plan to give thousands of kids private school vouchers using taxpayer money.
He's looking to expand the school voucher program. The plan is being called the Education Freedom Scholarship Act. The governor says the plans to offer students more than $7,000 to attend a private or home school next school year. However, Democrats say the plan will only benefit families that already send their kids to private schools, since $7,000 barely covers the cost and takes money away from public schools. Stay with us both on air and inside your WVLT News app as we get more updates on this.
And a Knoxville man is facing drug and weapons charges this morning.
Police say they found more than 40 pounds of drugs, several guns, and over $60,000 inside his home. KPD says officers were searching for a wanted fugitive when they got to Thomas Andrews' home on Huntwood Lane. Andrews let them inside to search his home. Inside, police say they found 4 guns, 80 grams of psychedelic mushrooms, 10 pounds of marijuana edibles, and 30 pounds of marijuana. KPD says Andrews admitted that he sells drugs and also told them there was money in the house's air vent, nearly $64,000. Andrews faces drugs and guns charges this morning. And the former Knoxville police officer charged in a child pornography case will plead not guilty.
Dan Rourke showed up to court yesterday for a preliminary hearing. He's accused of buying sexually explicit pictures of a young girl from her mother. The girl was 5 years old at the time. The mother also charged. Officials say the two had a sexual relationship. Investigators say Rourke tried to get pictures of an 8-year-old girl in Jefferson City as well. Officials say her mother never sent them. If convicted, Rourke could see years in prison and pay thousands in fines. His trial is set to start in January.
And new this morning in Kentucky, state police say a woman is behind bars after stealing a police cruiser with a suspect inside and trying to ram it into an officer.
This happened in Greensburg, just an hour north of the state line. Kentucky State Police say officers were serving an arrest warrant when their suspect started fighting the officer. Eventually, they arrested him, put him in the back of the cruiser. Well, that's when police say a woman got into the driver's seat, sped towards the officer, and drove away. The officer shot into the car but didn't hit either suspect. They found the two around 3 a.m. yesterday. The woman now charged with attempted murder of a police officer. And today is Giving Tuesday, a day when we take a break from holiday shopping and give back to good causes.
Yeah, according to GivingTuesday.org, Americans gave nearly $3 billion to charity around last year's Giving Tuesday. Experts say this year's Giving Tuesday could bring in over $3.4 billion. You can give clean water, meals, toys, or even clothes to those in need. 41 U.S. cities have launched giving machine locations to make donating easy. In East Tennessee, you can donate at the Light the World giving machines. They're right outside the At Home store in Turkey Creek. They've been out for about 2 weeks now. The last day to donate will be tomorrow. You can donate from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And today, presidents past and present, all living First Ladies, will attend a memorial for First Lady Rosalynn Carter in Atlanta.
Yeah, Mrs. Carter died last week at the age of 96. The tribute service honoring the life of First Lady Rosalynn Carter will take place at Emory University. Former President Jimmy Carter is expected to attend. The Carters celebrated their 77th wedding anniversary this past summer. A private funeral will be held tomorrow at a church in Plains, Georgia. First Lady Rosalynn Carter will be buried at the family's residence.
Well, today, some of the world's best divers are here in East Tennessee for the USA Diving National Championships.
Yeah, the competition's at the Allen Jones Aquatic Center on UT's campus. That's the same facility that will host the 2024 U.S. Olympic Team Trials next June. The diving gets started today at 5 o'clock, starting with women's and men's qualifiers. Events run every day through next Wednesday. If you're driving near the Aquatic Center, expect a little extra traffic.
Well, speaking of traffic, we'll keep an eye on that first alert traffic for you here. Taking a look at Pellissippi at Level Road. Traffic flow continuing to build this morning, but nothing that's going to slow you down from Pellissippi all the way to downtown I-40 at Hall of Fame Drive. We're starting to see more of that traffic flow going into downtown Knoxville, but again, not seeing any congestion just yet. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that for you as your morning rush gets closer. Here's a look at Pellissippi Parkway. You can see looking great. All those interstates and main roads are all clear at this point in the morning. Here's a quick look at those drive times. You can see everybody is running up to speed and on time. 40 east from Pellissippi to downtown, moving about 67 miles an hour this morning, taking you 11 minutes to get going.
Your First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
6:55 now on your Tuesday. Got those scattered clouds moving around parts of our area this morning. We've got the winds kicking around parts of our area, and then we also have some patches of frost. So basically wind keeps frost from even developing or getting thicker, but it does make us feel colder. Wind chills 19 right now in Knoxville with an actual temperature of 29. It is 28 in Crossville to Jamestown. Now it's 21 in Athens. You've not had as much wind reaching the Southern Valley. You're even colder. Actually, that's indicative of what we'll all feel tomorrow morning. Get those low 20s to settle in here at home. Scattered clouds, a few flurries flying in Harlan at 33 and 32 Middlesboro, but again, feeling colder. So there's some give and take this morning, what we're seeing and feeling, but we all have those wind chills and downright cold day. Upper 30s at 11, high today in the low 40s. Problem is it feels colder. Here's a quick look at that feels like forecast where you live for this afternoon. Dress for it to just gonna feel like 30s throughout the day in the valley, like 36 Knoxville, 32 Townsend to 34 Lenore City. But dress for it to feel like 20s on the plateau today. 26 Crossville to Oneida at times, feeling like 30 in La Follette to 25 in Pineville. Dress for that chill of 26 in Sneedville to 32 in Dandridge. This afternoon, this is what it feels like where you live. So obviously that's what we really have to prepare for while we have this very cold air. As I mentioned, the winds back off and it gets even colder tonight, dropping to 22. So we are really going to have a deep frost there tomorrow morning, but at least we're tracking a warming trend to rain in your First Alert 8-day planner. So we've got the latest timeline of that rain and how much you can expect coming up on the CW.
When I walked out the door this morning, the number one thing I wanted to hear was warming trend. So.
Well, you have that to look forward to, that's for sure.
Yes, I do. It is 6:56 on this Tuesday morning. Got more news, weather, and traffic headed your way on WBXX, the CW Knoxville. Have a good Tuesday.